In meditation, we learn how to observe without judgment. And this same skill is absolutely fundamental in understanding the nature of forgiveness, which also requires a gentle release of judgment toward ourselves and judgment toward others. I'm Dr. Alan Johnson, and on this channel, I talk about the mind, well-being, productivity, and change for thinkers, makers, and everyone in between. Today I want to talk about how forgiveness is a gift. It's an act of compassion that doesn't just liberate the person that we forgive, but also liberates us from the past grievances that we hold on to. And as a meditation teacher, I've learned to see forgiveness as not just a moral ideal, but as a practice, as a tool that we develop and we evolve over time to gain in greater inner freedom and resilience. Because the world is not perfect. We are not perfect. The people around us are not perfect. And all of us are shaped by our backgrounds, our struggles, our misunderstandings. But through meditation, we learn to cultivate a greater sense of compassion for the real humanity of others, seeing them through that lens of understanding rather than resentment. When I talk about forgiveness, I'm not talking about excusing harmful actions of the past. There are bad things that people do, and forgiveness isn't about excusing them, but forgiveness is the practice of learning how to gently release the grip that those things hold in us. Because the pain of holding on to resentment or anger impacts us a lot more deeply than we might ultimately realize. Like any wound, any physical wound that we might encounter, emotional pain requires really careful attention and time to heal. And just as we meditate to allow ourselves space to process emotions, forgiveness is that patient journey of healing that unfolds gradually. Some wounds might feel too fresh or too deep to forgive immediately, but in meditation we learn how to be patient with ourselves, trusting ultimately that forgiveness will become easier over time. In our meditation practice, we practice releasing rigid expectations and judgments, and forgiveness begins to take on very different forms as we return to the practice of forgiveness time and time again. Each time we do that, we loosen the hold that past hurt or grievance has on us. Ultimately, meditation helps to strengthen our muscle for forgiveness by teaching us how to observe difficult feelings, how to be present with difficult feelings, and how to let difficult feelings unfold and then dissipate in their own time. Just as in the practice of forgiveness, in the practice of meditation, we learn to stay with the memory of pain without needing to react or retaliate. As a meditation teacher, I oftentimes see people trapped in cycles of rumination, where they are constantly reliving past upsets, past grievances that ultimately are fueling resentment within them, and sometimes turning into a form of resentment that strikes even deeper than the original pain that they encountered. And these thoughts can become like mental habits that we can return to habitually, and they simply keep the pain alive, making it as painful as when we first experienced it. But through the practice of forgiveness, we begin to disrupt these cycles of rumination, freeing us from that sort of mental prison of rehearsed resentment. Meditation teaches us to observe these thoughts without attachment, not holding on to the rumination, but also at the same time not denying the existence of hurt, pain, or upset that we experienced in the past, and which still impacts upon our lives in the present. Ultimately, forgiveness is about freedom, because holding on to resentment longer than we need to binds us to that very thing that we are trying to escape from. But forgiveness allows us to gradually, over time, learn to better live in the moment. Forgiveness is an act, a choice, to let go of resentment at the moment that is right for us. Remember, it's not always immediate. There are hurts that run too deep or that are too recent to forgive in this way. But if you are experiencing that type of uncertainty now about whether or not there's something you can ever forgive, maybe allow your own self a sense of grace to accept that when you are ready, you will be able to relate to that past pain or grievance in the way that is right for you. If you want to start putting any of these ideas into practice, I have a 30-day at-home meditation retreat. The link's below. And it's a great opportunity for beginning meditators and experienced meditators alike to really begin to explore and embody how our meditation practice impacts all aspects of our consciousness. And if you like this video and you want to maybe share it with someone else who could benefit from it, please do share, please do like, and please do subscribe for more content like this.